former President Trump says his plan is to do a play-by-play of Biden's speech tonight. Just wrap your head around that for a second. He announced this move on his Truth Social platform. The former president says he will, quote, correct in rapid response any and all inaccurate statements during the address.
We want to bring in Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes into this discussion. Khalif, I think there's a little bit of irony there for somebody who's fact-checked as much as the former president is, that he's going to be fact-checking current President Biden. But it's something interesting, to say the least.
It's so many things that I can unpack with that, but let me start with a couple of things. It's the natural progression to where we are. We are a real-time society that wants things actually right now as it's happening. And so, as you mentioned, fact-checking is something that's probably come around in the middle of these presidential speeches and in the middle of presidential debates. For the last 10, 15 years, I can remember there was a big push to fact-checking as it was happening. Let's check what they said. And then it progressed to, okay, as after the speech, let's check what they said. But then in the middle of the speech, let's check what they said. I think that it actually does an excellent job of touching the entertainment value that he does. He's been doing that for as long as we can remember. From every TV show, he has the pulse of what people are asking for, and his base is asking to know right now, not tomorrow, not in a half hour after the speech. I want to hear right now what you think about it. And as opposed to me doing a debate, I don't need to debate you. I can just say what you're saying wrong on a whole different platform.
Exactly. He can't be cut off on his own platform. You can't have someone ring a buzzer saying your time limit's up. Now let's hear from the other.
I control the narrative. I can say
opponent.
what I want. It's for him. It is uniquely Trump. That's the best that I can say in terms of no other candidate could have done this and it would have made sense. Could you imagine, John McCain saying, I'm going to set this up against Obama? Nobody would have watched because it would not have had the entertainment value that you will see there. I'm thinking more Manning cast more than anything.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. We have a poll going on our Twitter, on our X feed. If you want to chime in, you can on Queen City News. But it's which are you going to watch? You're going to watch President Biden with his State of the Union. Are you going to watch Trump's play-by-play? Are you going to watch both? We've had some people on Facebook say, I'm going to do two TVs at once. Or are you going to watch neither? And it's amazing the percentage of people that are saying, I don't think I want to watch either one of these. I think some people are in the middle going, I'm a little turned off by both scenarios.
Well, I will say on a more serious note, that probably hits an undertone with what we've seen in the numbers. Mecklenburg County, less than 20% voter turnout, right? So folks are already turned off by the election process. And now we've taken something that's supposed to be 1 year election into a 6-year election to get in office, right? But I will say that as we have a national conversation about diversity across the board, this kind of goes right to there. Diversity is important, and not just diversity of people, but diversity of thought. And so because now we can control what we hear, if I can only turn to one station and hear things that I want to hear, I don't have an opportunity to hear what the other side is saying. The presidential State of the Union is the place where you hear from the leader of the country, the leader of the free world. He's telling you the direction of the country. Even if you're on another party, at that time, in that moment, he is in charge of the country. This new thing of I don't even want to hear what this leader is saying is, I would say, problematic at its best, but concerning at its worst.
I like what you said. You don't have to agree with whatever the current leader is saying, but it is a little closed-minded to just shut off and go, I don't want to hear anything.
So I'll just listen to this other guy. Yeah, I'll listen to this other guy and see what he says.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, Khalif, thank you very much. We're going to catch up with you later in the next half hour. It is coming up on 8:09 now. By the way, you can watch the State of the Union live tonight here on WJZY Fox Charlotte. Starts at 9 p.m. It will then be followed by the Republican response, and then you can stick around for Queen City News immediately after that.